We've got a little bit of a shady character here lurking around the headstones. Good afternoon from the massive Mount Jerome Cemetery in Dublin, Ireland. Today I'm looking for the grave of a man who was the father of one of the most famous people of the 20th century. His name was Joseph Victor John Hepburn-ruston, and he was the father of Audrey Hepburn.
I never could do that.
It's easy.
He was born in 1889 in Usis, Bohemia, which is now part of the Czech Republic, but at the time was part of Austria. He was a British subject. He was half English and half German. In 1926 he married Baroness Ella von Hemstra, and their daughter Audrey was born 3 years later. Joseph and Ella divorced in 1939 when Audrey was 9 years old. Ella was from an aristocratic family in the Netherlands. The double-barrelled Hepburn-ruston name was a name change for Victor, probably at the insistence of Ella. He worked for a trading company before meeting Ella, but after the marriage he started working for a loan company. The family often travelled between Brussels, Arnhem, The Hague and London, but they settled in a suburb of Brussels in 1932. Now, I mentioned earlier that he and Ella divorced in 1939, but they had actually separated a couple of years earlier. Their separation happened abruptly in 1935, so I take it there must have been some kind of incident at that time. He moved back to London and he never visited Audrey abroad again, but he was still involved in her education. Audrey Hepburn said that her father's departure was the most traumatic event in her life. Both of Audrey Hepburn's parents had rather dodgy political views prior to World War II. They were both supportive of the British Union of Fascists, and they collected donations for the organisation. Victor became more deeply involved with this organisation whilst in London, and as a result he was imprisoned in the Isle of Man for the duration of World War II. After his release he started a new life in Dublin, where he remarried. He and Audrey had lost contact from the late 1930s up until the early 60s, when Audrey was able to trace him to Dublin with the assistance of the Red Cross. Now, Audrey Hepburn and her father were reunited here in Dublin in 1964. And I'll just show you some photographs of Audrey Hepburn here in Dublin with her father. He told Audrey that he hadn't tried to contact her, as he didn't want her to think that he was doing so because of her fame and fortune. Although he was happy to be reunited with his daughter, he remained emotionally unattached. We've got a little bit of a shady character here lurking around the headstones. It's GV, Grave Visitations.
He always videos me off guard.
Can I just clarify that GV doesn't stand for Great Voice?
No,
Because if you don't mind me saying so, you've got one of the worst singing voices I've ever heard.
I sing in
By
the
a
shower.
country mile.
I sing in the shower, I told you. So, yeah, that's it.
Do you want to come with me to see Audrey Hepburn's father's grave?
We'll go over and have a look.
GV has just pointed out this nice headstone to me here. memory of John Armstrong. It's kind of disintegrated, so it's hard to... Can you see the date of death there? Must be quite old.
1858, I think.
1858.
Yeah, it's a nice stonework on it.
Yeah.
And then over here you have nice vaults as well. There's just one there with a name
Oh, yeah.
on top holding a book. That's Charles Johnson's.
There's another one here as well, just to the left. Can you see the name on this one?
Family vault of Joshua, I think something.
It's one of those unusual coffin-shaped gravestones here. Surnames Porter. Can't make the names out though. And the grave is just over here. Anthony Hepburn-Ruston died 16th of October 1980, aged 91 years. And just over here we got always remembered by his loving wife, Fidelma, and daughter Audrey. No longer in our hearts to share, but in our hearts you are always there. And he was joined by his wife in 2019, and she died at the age of 92. Fidelma Hepburn Donnelly.
Yeah, she was Irish.
Yeah, and the surname Hepburn down here. And it looks like somebody's coming here to put flowers anyway, although these are plastic flowers, I think. Now, Audrey Hepburn didn't attend the funeral because of her fame. She didn't want to bring the media circus here for the funeral. But presumably she would have visited the gravesite at some point afterwards. And Audrey Hepburn died in 1993 at the age of 63. Audrey Hepburn was buried in Switzerland. I have a video on my channel where I visit her gravesite as well.